top division's most attractive teams. Udinese are currently joint third and possess a really venomous front line, including Germany's Euro 96 hero, Oliver Bierhoff, while opponents Bologna, despite their lowly position third to bottom, are nonetheless capable of playing some excellent football and have, of course, Roberto Baggio in their ranks. This is the most successful period in Udinese's 101-year history, and fans at the Stadio Friuli have been thoroughly entertained by a positive approach built around the potency up front of Bierhoff and his two partners, Brazilian Amoroso and Italian Poggi. Coach Alberto Zaccheroni also has a Belgian in Johan Walem and a Dane in Thomas Helveg. Bologna, with just one league win so far, are understandably anxious about their position. They're only 3 points clear of bottom place. But coach Olivieri has been assured his job is not under threat. He's without Davide Fontelan through injury today. Magoni comes in for him. And like Udinese, Bologna also play with three up front: Baggio, Kenneth Anderson and Carlo Nervo. There's no room for the Russian international Igor Kolivanov. Only the top two of Inter and Juventus have scored more goals than Udinese in Serie A this season. And only two have conceded less, so there's a fair chance of a goal or two, I would think, today. And certainly the home fans have had plenty to enthuse over in recent times. What with Udinese's success in reaching Europe for the first time and the enterprising manner in which they set about their matches under Zaccheroni. Coach of Bologna. And now observing here a minute's silence. So away we go then. Bologna in their away strip, yellow tops and blue shorts, attacking the goal to our left. And Udinese will certainly be confident of maintaining their challenge in the top six. Bologna haven't won away now for 9 months in the league. Of course, any team that includes Roberto Baggio can't be written off. He himself has been in superb form this season, despite his team's problems as a unit. Poggi for Udinese. Very attack-minded team, as I'm sure we'll see underlined today in the Friuli Stadium. Got ball by Helveg towards Bierhoff. Now Amoroso, very talented Brazilian. He claimed his shirt was being tugged. Matti, who came to the rescue for Bologna. And the referee was having none of it in terms of the challenge on Amoroso. Bachini leading the protest. A yellow card, I would think, for Amoroso for protesting too bitterly. Maybe Bierhoff. It's Bierhoff who spoke out of turn. Cosimo Bonino is the referee today. It's Caramatti who crashed then with Amoroso. Very dangerous front player. Home in Brazil. It was Anderson who headed on. He's bound to be a target in the air with his height up front. Castellini wearing 6. This is Magoni. Now Baggio. Down for him. He's wearing the number 10 shirt. He really has sparkled so far this season for Bologna. Here he is on the ball now. Magoni. This is Marocchi, the former Juventus man, indeed a former Italian international. Played off by Anderson. Here's Turci, last defender for Bologna. He's called up into the Italian squad earlier in the season, but then had an injury recently. Wasn't included for the playoffs against the Russians. This is Walem, the Belgian. tidy, busy little player. Now Amoroso, faced by Paromati. Bologna doubling up defensively to cope with the threat. Cristolini. They backed in by Baggio. 16 times these two clubs have met in Udine. Udinese won 5, Bologna 4. The 7 games drawn. Baggio turned neatly and being waved on now. Bologna by the referee, allowing the advantage is Nervo, a very direct player down the flanks. He's got away from Helveg, but help was at hand. Helveg's clearance. He had been doubtful today because of injury. The Dane. He's got a hand injury, but he's got a bandage on it. But fit enough to start. Bierhoff's challenge. This is Paganini, formerly with Inter. Had been linked with 1 or 2 English clubs too before settling on a move to Bologna instead. Anderson, it's a decent pass. Magoni. No real service they provided. Away comes Bachini now on the break for Udinese. Walem seeking out the run of Bierhoff. Yeah, Poggi alongside. The referee has blown in favour of Bologna against Bierhoff. Already cautioned, remember. Bierhoff, top scorer in each of his previous 2 seasons with Udine. He's got 10 in all competitions in this campaign. Top scorer so far for his club. He's incurred the early wrath of the referee today. 6 goals in Serie A from Bierhoff. Calori. Helveg. Now Poggi, a left-footed player, but he operates down the right side. By Walem. Cristolini with the interception. Good play then by Baggio. Again, the referee waving them on. Paromati. Amoroso back to help out defensively. He seemed to pull up, maybe injured there. This is Bachini. Surging away down that left side. Well, to get his cross in too. And hit it behind by Magoni for the corner to Udinese. Games involving these two clubs in Serie A have produced a total of 73 goals, 35 in the month of November alone. So hopefully they won't let us down today. This is Walem. Poggi among those waiting in the centre. He peeled away. I think Bierhoff could get a sight of goal. Nervo. Bierhoff. Lack of communication there though with Amoroso. Of course, who starred in Germany's win in the Euro '96 final. 2 of the goals in the win over the Czech Republic. The 2 goals indeed. Here's Thomas Helveg. Rather aimless ball though by him, collected by Turci. Now Marocchi moving to guide Bologna forward from the midfield. This is Nervo. Bertotto was the man covering him with the white boots there. Up towards Anderson, who's going to win a lot of balls in the air, I'm sure, but a miscue really from Baggio. 8 goals in Serie A from Roberto Baggio this season. Even though only 2 of those have come from open play, he has been in cracking form. 5 in the last 4 Serie A matches, including a hat-trick against Napoli. most prolific league scorer in Serie A, currently playing behind Bachini. This is Turci, defending against Amoroso. Three goals in Serie A from Amoroso this season. It's his second with Udine since he arrived from Flamengo. Doesn't always see eye to eye with the coach, Zaccheroni. He does seem quite regularly to be subbed off. He's been taken off in each of the last 7 now in Serie A. Will he last the pace today, I wonder? Cristallini. Free kick to Bologna. Only Piacenza and Napoli below them then in Serie A as they go into this match. So they desperately need a win. Only one, remember, before today in the Italian top flight. Here's Pierini. One of the back three for Udinese. Helveg. Threaded on towards Poggi. Now Bierhoff. But it will! And a fine save too from Zaccheroni. Get to watch for eye on that. Struck well by Bierhoff. And the confidence to strike for goal. Zaccheroni, the former Roma man, who's the first choice now at Bologna. Antonioli is out injured at the moment. And Joe coming in for some harsh treatment. He's been used to that down the years. Bologna has won victory so far at home to Napoli, albeit a crushing success. They won 5-1. But for this man's genius, it's been their only success so far. Here is Baggio now, curling over the free kick invitingly towards Kenneth Anderson. And then the header, the follow-up was from Mangone. No problem for Luigi Turci. He's in his second season at the club. Really joined Inter about 3 years back before Pagliuca signed for them. So he's highly rated in Italian circles. Header for Bertotto. Bierhoff failing to find a teammate, only Nervo of Bologna. Bertotto with a swift interception though, now it's Marocchi. Bologna beginning to settle here. Walem, maybe I spoke too soon. See what the Belgian can do here. What a movement ahead of him. Goes Amoroso. Rounded out there by Paromati. In determined fashion. Off goes Nervo. It's Giannichedda with the tackle. Now it's Helveg. Amoroso. Cristallini for Bologna. Walem. Direct approach again towards Bierhoff. And Poggi trying to wriggle his way through. Here comes Marocchi for Bologna. Pierini. Hoping to release Amoroso, again pressing with Paromati. Right old dink on those two. There seemed to be a little trip then by Paromati. Playing on the right at the moment, he's only on the left. Since Tarantino came to the club, he's switched to the right flank. Tarantino is out today through injury. Paromati staying down that right flank. Zaccheroni organises the troops ahead of him. Now Bachini. He's left it for Walem. A chance and a goal from Bierhoff. A well-taken header from the German international. Underlining his prowess in the air. The first goal of the game on 13 minutes. Walem's well-flighted free kick. And the header delivered so accurately by Bierhoff to punish some rather static defending. They left him virtually unattended in the middle there. Really strong header, and it arrowed into the corner. Well, they're always sleeping in the back, and Paganini is the man that he's out-jumped. Zaccheroni on his goal line, anxious to intervene. They back up Bologna very positively. Magoni towards Anderson. Hasn't really hit his best form, Kenneth Anderson, the Swedish international so far this season. And who turned down Glasgow Rangers, of course, back in the summer to stay at Bologna. He's got 3 in the last 3 games, but his overall form hasn't been that impressive. This man's finishing was impeccable there. Oliver Bierhoff. Breakthrough for the home team, Udinese, in the Friuli Stadium. Here's Walem, who laid it on for him. That sweet left foot of his. Good little player, Walem. From Anderlecht in the summer on a free transfer, a real coup for the Udine club. It's Walem's pass. Foul on Bachini. Test of Bologna's character now, having gone a goal down so early on. They really have been struggling away from home. Walem hoping to trouble them again. Amoroso trying to find some space up front. Can't do so this time. Poggi. Still Poggi. This is Bachini. He's given it away. Morocchi. Baggio had made the run in vain to his right. It's also now Walem directing the traffic again towards the Bologna goal, but this time misplacing his forward pass. Udinese looking more adventurous team. Bologna just felt maybe were finding their rhythm. Now that's a shattering blow for them to concede a goal. And Olivieri's team are up against it once more. He has been told though by the president he won't be sacked even if Bologna lost every game from now until the end of the season. We probably won't test out that theory. Zaccheroni. Amoroso did well too. It was Magoni who collected for Bologna. Then Turci to Morocchi. Cristallini. Here's Cristallini again. Baggio ahead of him. Very sure-footed too, Baggio, spreading the play. Magoni on to Magoni, then Novo. Anderson waits in the middle. His towering presence. Nowhere near that cross. Novo normally operates on the other flank, down the right. They put him on the left. It's the choice of Olivieri today. Temperamental coaches Renzo Olivieri, sent off against Roma in week 4, and almost again the following week against Piacenza for more protests. Baggio bravely charging down the clearance, and Pierini held him back. He's going to be in trouble. Yellow card for him. The warning bells were ringing then when Baggio threatened to break loose. Pierini in his first season as a first-team regular. Clearly very aware of the threat of Baggio. So Pierini caution. Udinese with Bierhoff's booking earlier on. His goal divides the two teams, but it's Baggio now with the free kick for Bologna. Didn't fall for Anderson at the far post. Walem. Bachini. How could he service Anderson here? He's holding off, or he was being held off. He's appealing now towards the referee's assistant and the referee. Some kind of sympathy. So there could be some tugging going on as he broke down that right side. Here's Baggio with the corner. Paganini's come up. Rocky. Off goes Helveg. With a crunching challenge then from the Dane. And Mangoni. Novo failing to hold it up. Paganini with the back pass to Sterkele. Here's Paganini again. Just a couple of weeks into the current season. Seemed to be out of favour there. His Bologna debut in the 4-2 defeat at home to Inter. Helveg. Amoroso the target. To be leaning into his man there. Paromati. Just approaching the 20-minute mark now. Udinese with the upper hand early on. The team lying joint third in Serie A on 19 points, along with Roma. Inter on 27, Juventus on 25. Novo. Blocked by Bertotto. It was Mangoni's cross towards Anderson. Only inches wide too of the far post. Maybe had it been on target, Baggio might have steered it in. But there was the menace in the air of Kenneth Anderson. Mangoni curling it over. It's a decent cross. Not that easy a ball though, in fairness to Anderson, so he did really well then. And it was only just wide of goal. Bierhoff's challenge. That will give Bologna a heart. Away by Bertotto. Bachini. Started the game in lively fashion, so's Amoroso. Paromati is never too far away. I think that's his last warning, Paromati. Continually clashing with Amoroso, who's proving quite a handful. Walem, as ever, taking the free kick. It was dealt with by Turci. Now Rocky to clear. Off goes Anderson. With a nudge in the back. Now comes Turci anyway. There did seem to be a push from Kenneth Anderson, but it's gone unpunished. Rocky. They want him to get a grip in midfield, Rocky. Along with Cristolini. Paganini to Marocchi. Everyone appeals. Bologna's decision. Oliver getting pretty heated as ever. Down on the sidelines there. Here's Roberto Baggio. Ever creative. Helveg on defensive duty for Udinese. For Turci. Baggio's corner. Bologna's second. Anderson. He'll be the man they have to look out for in the middle there. And also Paramati, who's always dangerous in that kind of situation. He is decidedly ambitious from Carlo Nervo, who earned Bologna a point in last season's corresponding fixture, getting the equaliser just a few minutes from time. He was way off beam here. Hasn't scored a goal since January, Carlo Nervo. Didn't look like doing so there. Free kick conceded by Cristolini. They've taken it too quickly. Tried to anyway. So Bierhoff hoping to pose more menace up front for Udinese. Here's Amoroso. As usual, confronted by Paramati. Bachini. Clear foul on him by Magoni. Been a bit of a scrappy half so far. Udinese with the early advantage, which we're trying to build on now. Calori, the captain. 31, he's the oldest player at Udinese. It's his 7th season now with the club. Just the 1 goal this season. To Marocchi. Here's Paganini. Then Marocchi again. On by Mangone. To Carlo Nervo. Bertotto sticking tightly to him. Giannichedda quickly on Marocchi. 32 now, Marocchi. Nervo with the throw to Baggio. Teasing Bertotto, but he stood his ground. Anderson lurking on the near post. Paganini will look for him. Can't find him though. In goes Nervo, beaten in the air by Helveg. Baggio just couldn't force it back across goal. He might get a second bite at it. It's a corner. Again, Paramati is up from the back. And Udinese have power of Kenneth Anderson to contend with as well. Paramati on that near post. In goes Anderson, and he's forced it in. 1-1. It's a goal they have been threatening from corners. And Kenneth Anderson has punished Udinese. 25 minutes, the time of the second goal of the game. Bologna back level now to the delight of their travelling fans in Udine. Udinese haven't been that convincing so far, despite that early goal. So it's no real surprise that Bologna have come back. In goes Anderson with typical determination, showed his bravery too then. Fear of being clattered by the goalkeeper. It's his 5th goal in Serie A this season. 4 now in 4 games he's scored. Here's Poggi, looking to reply for Udinese. Well, we promised you goals, and we've had those already. Anderson making no mistake. Helveg. Poggi. Helveg again. Way by Bertotto. The outfield though to profit from that. Haven't really got Poggi in the game so far. He's the club's player of the year. He was presented with a trophy before the match today. Can be very dangerous. So far not really involved. This man has been Walem. Played by Pierini. Still policing Amoroso, but he's got chances to get forward too. Certainly on the corners, Paramati. That's Poggi. Helveg. Baggio. Anderson offside through the middle. Quick thinking by Baggio, but Anderson setting off a little too quickly. Pierini. Now Calori. Oliver Bierhoff. His goal got his team off to an excellent start, but they haven't managed to build on it. Rocky now. Well, that's good vision to pick out Kenneth Anderson. Not on the same wavelength as Baggio. For Udinese, that's a good ball. Bierhoff had the strength to hold it up. Again, determined play from Bologna. On goes Cristallini. Now Baggio. Too many defenders for him to take on. His appetite remains undiminished. Half an hour gone. It's 1-1 in Udine, and this is Amoroso, the Brazilian. Still Amoroso. Powerful run. This was curtailed, but legally, according to the referee. Anderson to Paramati. Goni. Now Marocchi. Nine months then since their last away win, Bologna in Serie A. They took 3 points against Sampdoria in Genoa. Offside Poggi. Sampdoria yesterday drawing 1-1 with Inter, the league leaders. Juventus beat Lazio by 2-1. Turci launching his free kick forward. Novo not making much headway against Helveg. Helveg missed the win at Lazio last week because of that hand injury. It's his 5th season this with Udinese. Came from Odense back in Denmark. He's on the ball now, Thomas Helveg. Then Bertotto, who hoisted upfield, but straight to Turci. Really finding their rhythm now, Udinese. Novo to Baggio, getting stronger and stronger. Bologna. Baggio just took it too far. He had options in the centre too. He ran out of turf. Helveg. Poggi with the pass. By Calori to Pierini, then Bachini, Walem, Bachini again, trying to stretch Bologna down the left flank for Udinese. It's off Cristallini, or rather Magoni, for a throw to Udinese. Knocked out of the UEFA Cup last month by Ajax on away goals, very unluckily though. First ever season in Europe. Bierhoff. Here's Calori. Now Bertotto. Poggi. Taking on Mangoni, doing well too. Still Poggi. Amoroso was shaping up for a shot. Walem. Bachini's cross. And then cool defending by Mangone. Novo to Baggio. This is Helveg. Walem threading it forward to Amoroso. And Poggi offside. Won't count. If Bierhoff had hit the back of the net, then the flag was up anyway. Just wondering whether Baggio has a problem. He seems to be clutching his side. Some measure of distress. Anderson's header. He's just not too comfortable, is he? Roberto Baggio. I wonder, do we call him now a former Italian international, or will he feature in their plans for the World Cup in France next year? Foul by Bertotto on Baggio. In fact, he was nervous. Well, that's Baggio there, just receiving some attention for that damaged back. There had been speculation that he would have been in the Italian squads for the playoff games against the Russians, Baggio. He was omitted. Still hoping to make it there in time for France next year. Turci, same applies to him. Here's Amoroso on the break. At least he would have been, but Paramati stood in his way. Clear obstruction. And he can hardly complain. It's not exactly his first offence of the afternoon. Probably won't be his last either. Cynical block then by Paramati on Amoroso. Back in the fray. Still not looking happy, Roberto Baggio. 10 minutes of the first half remaining. Walem, Amoroso! And he took it delightfully. Udinese back in front. Brilliant finish from the Brazilian. Just glanced up and steered it into the corner. With Bologna's defence found wanting. Goal number 4 in Serie A for him this season. They were really stretched there. It counts so lethally. The defence split open and Amoroso punishes them in style. Udinese 2, Bologna 1, Amoroso with the second goal for the home team. They haven't been at their best, their most productive or enterprising so far this afternoon, but they have the 2 goals. Haven't really created that many chances. But this might be another one for them. Amoroso knocking it forward, off goes Bierhoff, who collected the first goal of the afternoon before Anderson's equaliser. Pierini. His expression will tell you it's an Udinese throw. Bachini will take it. Bierhoff is the man nearest to him. Amoroso further back. Baggio still running a little gingerly. That back problem. You see, we're back in trouble, having conceded that second goal. Baggio. Rocky to Paganini. Here's Bachini. side for Udinese. Goni tracking back with him. Did well to get his cross in. And Zaccheroni did well to hold on. Really good run then, which deserved better reward. Bertotto. Not too much has got past him so far. Walem. Here's Pierini. Amoroso. Free header for Turci, who was first to respond. Baggio taking a buffeting again. But it's not acknowledged by the referee. Clashing with Amoroso. Here's the goal again. Real Predators goal, that one, from the Brazilian star. Marocchi. This is Paganini with Turci. Bologna doubled his pay, Turci, to keep him at the club after a lot of interest from elsewhere. Helveg. Marocchi to close him down. And a disappointing season, certainly for Bologna, who, of course, in the last campaign looked set for UEFA Cup place before losing out to Sampdoria and Udinese themselves due to a slump in form. Baggio may well be coming off. 5 minutes of the first half remaining. Here's Bierhoff using his strength against Turci. Support in the middle too. He's failed to find either of his colleagues. So away comes Marocchi on the counter-attack. Anderson. Amoroso sprinting clear. Paganini just about managing to deny him. Now it's Paramati. Marocchi. Poggi was after him and concedes the free kick. You can see that Bologna were warming up as substitutes, so maybe Baggio will have to go off. He's soldiering on for the moment. Kenneth Anderson to Roberto Baggio. Cristallini. Good approach play. Cristallini again from Anderson's pass. Fine recovery though from Pierini. Seeking out Anderson. Just managed to nudge it on to Anderson. The shot that was charged down, the stick was taken out of it. Turci. Here's Paramati. Pierini's clearance. Marocchi. Slid on to Anderson. Magoni, good save. But Nervo has guided in the rebound. 2-2. 3 minutes from half-time. Back level again. To the relief of Olivieri. Carlo Nervo. His first goal since January. That was Cristallini's effort. Magoni's effort rather beaten away. And Nervo was first to respond, despite the efforts of Luigi Turci in the Udinese goal. against views to the contrary. Minute of time to be added on for stoppages. Well, all credit to Bologna. They have come back. It's twice now. Baggio will be the focus of attention at half-time to see the extent of the damage with his injury. Bachini. It's a throw to Udinese. Walem. He's not in the current Belgian squad, although he's an international. Safe claim from Zaccheroni. Getting plenty of distance on his clearance too. Way upfield. Anderson making a nuisance of himself. Bertotto changing views with his goalkeeper. There's a breakdown in communication there. There's a real threat, Anderson. His power, his height. So we're now almost into stoppage time. Here is Paganini with the throw. Aiming for Anderson. Magoni, and he squeezed it just wide. Oh, that was close. And they're not defending with too much conviction, I have to say, Udinese. Magoni, who nearly made them pay for it. Pierini. Gomez's attempted clearance. Referee on the way there. Get hold of that one. This is Bachini. The end of the first half. We promised you goals and we haven't let you down. 4 so far, 2 apiece. As the referee brings proceedings to a halt at the end of the first 45 minutes. Twice Bologna have had to come from behind. Udinese going ahead early on through their German international Oliver Bierhoff. Then Anderson with the equaliser. Amoroso restoring Udinese's advantage, but that was cancelled out by the second goal for Bologna from Carlo Nervo. So that's the way of it then at half-time at the Friuli Stadium in Udine. It's Udinese 2, Bologna 2. So Udinese get the second half underway. And straight on to the attack too with Amoroso. First foul of the second half. Didn't have to wait too long for that. First assault on Amoroso. Right straight into Paramati. Surely is walking something of a tightrope here, having been booked in the first half. One of several mistimed challenges on the Brazilian. His goal had put his team back in front, but Bologna again responding to make it 2-2. It was 2-2 incidentally this fixture last season after Udinese then surrendered a 2-goal lead. Laid off to Walem, the Belgian international. Free kick to Bologna. They've drawn their last 2 in Serie A. In Sampdoria and Fiorentina, also 2-2 on both occasions. They were 2-0 up against Samp at half-time last week. Then had to settle for yet another draw. Followed by Bertotto. That's Paramatti hoisting it away. Giannichedda. Free kick to Udinese for the foul on Poggi. Didn't really influence the first half as much as his coach would have liked, I'm sure. Poggi, now they've taken the kick too quickly. And Baggio clearly has decided he can't continue. Injured, remember, in the first half. There seemed to be some kind of back problem for him. He's off, and the Russian international Igor Kolivanov comes on to replace him. We saw him going through his paces towards half-time, and again, just after they came out for the second half. So Baggio clearly was prepared to give it a go, but now has decided he simply can't carry on. So a major setback for Bologna to lose a player of his quality. But they have another outstanding forward player to bring on in the shape of Kolivanov. Player Middlesbrough have been chasing back in England. This is Poggi. Well, the first part was impressive, but not the strike at goal. Poggi with 4 in Serie A. He was joint top with Bierhoff in the last campaign in Serie A, 13. He has scored in each of the last 5 competitive games now. 8 in all in League and Cup for Udinese. This is Nervo. Score of that second goal for Bologna. Just a few minutes from half-time. Poggi's back pass to Bertotto. Udinese, remember, joint third at the start of play. 5th in Serie A last season to qualify for Europe for the first time in their 101-year history. Through to Bologna. Here's Turci. Now Paganini, a former Inter defender. Mangoni. Bertotto's clearance. Seized on by Helveg, the Dane. Now Walem was looking for an inventive pass. He's asking a lot here of Bachini. Willing runner, there he is. Turci, the covering defender for Bologna. Some useful sorties down the left side, Bachini in the first half. And out by Mangoni at the expense of a corner. Bierhoff will be the main threat here. Turci's back header. Helveg undertaking those straight to Marocchi, who was then caught by Thomas Helveg. Milan were interested in Helveg back in the summer, but Udinese refused to sell him. Turci launching it forward then for Bologna. Anderson's presence. Not enough, though, to unsettle Udinese. Way by Bachini to Amoroso. Nice good link-up play from Udinese. Off goes Bachini. Paramatti for once struggling to stay with him. He barged into him right on the edge of the box. Paramatti, who has been cautioned earlier in the game and surely now will be sent off. There is the red card for Paramatti. And I have to say, that's no major surprise. There was an incident earlier in the half when I felt he warranted a yellow card, another one. Well, now he has been shown it and will be leaving the field. Finding it harder to contain the run of Bachini. It's a clumsy lunge at him. Knocked him out of his stride. And had to go. the edge of the box too, very nearly inside it. I think the initial contact, quite rightly, the referee's opinion was outside. Alamadi sent off. Bologna, having lost Roberto Baggio, are now down to 10 men. And having to face this free kick, plenty of potential threats to them from Amoroso, from Bierhoff, from Poggi, and Walem. Little man in the picture there. There's Roberto Baggio taking no further part in this game then. Wondering how his team will fare. It's Amoroso, and it's a super save. Great reaction from Zaccheroni. He's kept his team in the match. Walem picking out Amoroso, and Turci to clear just in the nick of time. But here come Udinese again with Bachini. Helveg. Here by Cristolini. Not too far though. Here's Bertotto. It looks like he's wearing carpet slippers. Long towards Bierhoff. It's a neat little layoff too to Bachini. That goes Poggi. Bologna felt there was some pushing in there. It's the free kick again from Amoroso. My word, there's some curl on that, but it didn't deceive this man, Roberto Zaccheroni. He was brought in by Bologna back in mid-September to cover for the long-term casualty of Francesco Antonioli. He's done well too. Free header for Calori. Amoroso linking with Walem. Over, looking hard for Bologna's cause. Here's Oliver with Anderson. Over racing through. First goal given this time from Turci. Helveg. The game might just open up in the second half. Certainly Udinese will go for it now. Bachini. Bertotto. Helveg. Play by the Dane. Just can't pull it back though. Mangoni in the way. Here's Oliver, who featured against the Italians for the Russian team in the recent playoffs. Walem. Only 4 starts in Serie A for Oliver this season. Anderson's tackle. Walem. What is channeled through him for Udinese. Pierini. Calori having to fetch it. Won't thank him for that. Here's Walem. Bologna now pulling everybody back behind the ball. Up by Calori to Bachini. Almost 10 minutes into the second half. Curious miscue. Pierini to Walem. Nobody closing him down, and he's throwing it through to Bierhoff. He has Bachini in support. This is Bachini. Calori available. He's a mite ambitious. Helveg, the deft touch. Still Bologna can't get it away. That's Marocchi to Nervo. Marocchi. Still they can't get the ball out of their own half. Udinese have a man down injured. Meantime, it's Amoroso. And Walem to take it on. Oh, right across the face of goal and beyond Oliver Bierhoff. Must be a corner, surely, yes. Pavoni is going to come on for Bologna. Cristiano Pavoni is a fullback. And Anderson being sacrificed. So Presumably they'll play just with Kolivanov up front. Since the sending off of Paramati. Tactical change by Olivieri, consoling the Swedish international. No real challenge on the keeper. But he's elected to fist it away, and he's kept his team maybe under pressure. Pierini's cross, Amoroso! Well, offside, surely. That would not have counted. There's three of them, they're in a line. And the flag indeed is up. Bierhoff, who was just behind Amoroso. Former Atalanta defender. Most of last season out through injury. Made only 5 Serie A appearances. Just a couple of starts in the top flight this season. Here's Walem. Again, the early ball directed towards Amoroso. Udinese very much on the offensive now with Johan Walem, the architect in midfield. By Giannichedda. Nervo. Doesn't have too much support. Bertotto sticking with him. The referee has ruled against Bertotto. I think he's given a free kick for a foul there. Bertotto just bemused as everybody else. In there and seemed to have won the ball, Bertotto. The referee didn't concur with that view. So here is Igor Kolivanov for Bologna. Anderson now to profit from balls played in the air. Turci making progress down the right side now. Played off to Cristallini. Bachini endeavouring to counter. He's been brought down. Free kick to Udinese. Bachini. Now Walem. Turci to tidy up for Bologna. Returned to the top flight last season after a 5-year absence, Bologna. They come up as Serie B champions. As I was saying earlier on, they were heading for Europe at one stage. Udinese did make it, of course. One of Italy's oldest clubs, Udinese, celebrating their centenary last year, 25th season in Serie A. Good movement then from Poggi, Helveg, Amoroso! Pavone was in the way. And it squirms away for the corner. Could have been more serious then for Bologna. Amoroso unlucky. Blocked his shot, but also imploring the home fans to raise their encouragement now for the team. An hour played. Oh, the keeper's a long way off his line here. That was Pierini's header. Zaccheroni having to track back very quickly. Walem with the corner. Pierini, you can see where Zaccheroni is there. Desperately trying to recover his ground. Bologna with just 8 points so far, only 3 points off last place. Occupied currently by Napoli. They're third to bottom, Bologna. Udinese third from top. Calori, the captain. This is Calori. It was Pierini's pass. Now Bertotto. That's aimed at no one in particular. His team have problems now. Oliver Bierhoff. We've seen Baggio depart through injury and Paramati through being shown the red card. But it stays at 2-2. Goni's pass. There's Pierini. This is Walem. Now Amoroso taking on Pavone, who scythed him down. That has to be a yellow card. Only one thought in Pavone's mind then. That was to curtail the run of Brazilian Amoroso. He's surely going to accelerate away from him. Walem inevitably taking charge of the set piece. Amoroso and Bierhoff wait in the middle. Calori up from the back as well. It is Johan Walem. It's a decent ball, and Bierhoff might have done better there. Certainly with his ability in the air, he'd have fancied him to score. He was the defender involved from Bologna's point of view. Just one of the, he was using his arms for a little extra leverage. The header over the bar from Oliver Bierhoff. Rocky to Turci. Kolivanov finding a lone battle up there. Excellent defending by Calori. Bertotto. Now Walem. Too direct that time. Nervo able to snuff out the threat from Helveg. Walem. This is Pierini. Now Bachini. Continuing to probe. Giannichedda to Walem. Can they find a way through again? Bierhoff with a header. And Mangoni clearing him, but maybe his keeper might have collected. So the pressure stays on the Bologna goal. Walem with the corner. Calori has advanced once more. Bierhoff around the penalty spot. Conflict playing, positive goalkeeping then from Sterkele. Clean sheets in his first 2 league games when he arrived in September. And then in 12 now since, in 6 league matches. He does seem to be a fairly reassuring figure back there from the Roma and Piacenza goalkeeper. He played under Olivieri at Piacenza. Bertotto. Approaching now the halfway point in the second half. Udinese 2, Bologna 2, Pierini for the home team. Hoping to enhance their position near the top of the table. It's been a very encouraging season for them so far. That's Bertotto and Poggi. Can't make any headway though. Cristallini. Pavone. One of Bologna's substitutes. Pierini though. Twilight at the back for Udinese. Now I'm sure will be Udinese mainly on the attack. Bologna hoping to contain them and maybe catch them on the break through Kolivanov. On by Calori. Pierini. Bachini. Bone was tight then on Amoroso. Paramati was his marker, his shadow earlier in the game, of course. One foul too many, and his exit. Bierhoff. Amoroso and Poggi in the middle. Bachini trying to thread it on, won't reach Amoroso. Amoroso went Pavone in trouble. Lucky to get away with that. Walem. Amoroso, he's through! And ricocheted off Bachini. Udinese through Amoroso, so close to regaining the lead yet again. That's Walem's cross, and this time it's Poggi who has scored. Nobody picked him up. He arrived unattended in the centre, and a perfect header right into the corner from Poggi. 3-2, Udinese. Halfway through the second half, and beaming smiles around the ground from Udinese fans again. The front three have done it again, one each. Bierhoff with the first, Amoroso the second, and now Poggi. Walem with that cross, and he's darted in there in front of defenders. Zaccheroni unable to reach his pinpoint header. An excellent goal from Poggi. It's his fifth in Serie A to restore the home team's advantage and their command of this game. Bologna have it all to do. No Baggio. Anderson having departed as well after the setting off of Paramati. Now they trail. Turci. They've come back twice. Can they do it again? Angone. Bachini. This is Helveg. Giannichedda with Calori. Amoroso, mistake by Pavone. I have to say he's looking very nervous since he's come on. Just can't seem to get up ahead of steam, Bologna. It's been mainly one way. Walem. Bertotto. This is Walem. Pierini. Shown for him. His control let him down. Turci. Walem. Some room in which to manoeuvre. Bachini to Pierini. All Udinese at the moment. Calori pumping it forward. Towards Bierhoff. Amoroso. There's Oliver on the break for Bologna. Good tackle from Giannichedda. He's a ball winner in the midfield. That's his forte in that kind of situation. Bachini. Too long for Bierhoff. They've certainly got a grip in midfield, Udinese. Poggi has rewarded their superiority with that third goal. He's now scored in each of the last 6 competitive games, including this one. 20 minutes remaining. Amoroso for Udinese. Then Walem. Seen the run of Bachini. Pavone tracking back. Just made contact with the ball in time. He's posed a threat down the left side, Bachini. One of 2 ever-presents for Udinese in Serie A this season, along with Oliver Bierhoff. He's an under-21 international. Bachini on the ball now, but offside. Well, Zaccheroni has pulled off some excellent saves in the Bologna goal, but no chance for that third one from Poggi. Here's Turci. Bachini. No real target man now since the loss of Kenneth Anderson. He's not a happy man with the Eddie. Disappointed he wasn't allowed to leave for Fiorentina back in the summer. struggle for Bologna this season. But here now is Kolivanov. Novo in the middle. Also Marocchi, who'd advanced. Poggi on the defence. Pagani. Going to show a bit more ambition now, Bologna. They will stand any chance of saving something from this match. That's Kolivanov. He's done well. Pavone. How unlucky can you get? It was surely deflected. Pavone, the substitute, very nearly in his team. Yet another equaliser. Suddenly found himself in the clear here. Onside. Goalkeeper sprawling in the wrong direction. Rescued by the upright. Corner then to Bologna. Was he given a goal kick? Well, no, that was surely deflected. Marocchi, who played him in. Here's Pavone. His big moment arrived. And yes, an obvious nick. Otherwise, the goalkeeper might have saved it. Obviously, our angle was better than the referee's. He hasn't got a replay. Pavone. Marocchi, rather. Turned well. This is Pavone. He's onside, Novo. Got it wrong at the back then, Udinese. They certainly do look vulnerable. It's a slender lead they have, just the one goal. Might not be enough, the way they're defending. Paolo Poggi. Walem to take up the reins again. Bachini. On by Walem to Amoroso. On the tired pass from the Brazilian. Pierini lofting it forward. Now Walem, eager and busy in the midfield. Stekele in a hurry. Seen Kolivanov up front. So too though had Pierini. This is Cristallini. The boot was too high. Walem. This is Kolivanov. Played by Bierhoff. And as far as Magoni. Now Mangone. Commentator's nightmare, those two. Walem. To brush the challenge aside, and there's the early ball. Offside from my angle. He's a lot nearer than I am. Now, a change being made. Walem is going off. He certainly played his part. 15 minutes to go. Statuto is on to replace him. Francesco Statuto, signed from Roma at the end of October. Apparently unwanted by Zeman. Change to Mangone being replaced by Tarantino. I think he's been carrying an injury. That's probably why he didn't start the game. And he's on now. He's a Mangone. Disconnection now from Calori. Amoroso. Now Turci is there to cover. Turci. Aiming for Pavone. Calori. Experienced defender. Settling for the goal kick. 2. Well, they're going to leave caps at the back now as they commit 1 or 2 more players forward. Tarantino side from Inter. Not too many chances for them. Rocky. Bierhoff shot always heading well wide. Watched by Luigi Turci. A somewhat speculative shot from the Russian. Now Pagani with Turci. Remember, just 1 win in Serie A before today. They find themselves behind. Pagani now looks to advance for them. Bertotto. Oliver. Bertotto to Helveg. Udinese have won 6 before today in Serie A, just 3 defeats and 1 draw. 24 goals scored now. Bachini, then Bierhoff. Goes Bierhoff. Hit it with any real conviction, though. He's had his moments in this match. Notably, of course, the header that put his team in front early on. But otherwise, fairly subdued by his standards. Bertotto with the throw. Daring to stay with him. Helveg supplying the cross though. Pierini, then Bachini. Bachini again. See that one out. Bologna have Turci. Not really threatening going forward though, are they? That's a foul. Play on, says the referee. Statuto. Didn't seem to be upended then. Well, every picture tells a story. Free kick to Bologna, 10 minutes left. Here's Marocchi. He's left it for Turci. Ivanov couldn't get his head to the ball. Away by Helveg. Amoroso. We've seen glimpses of his outstanding talent, Amoroso. A goal apiece then for the front 3. Amoroso, that was a neat touch. Good combination play with Bierhoff. Upended. Well, he's staying outside the box. That looked inside to me. Amoroso's run. Now, where is the first contact made? Right on the edge. Turci and Magoni, who collide with the Brazilian. Amoroso still in difficulties, as Bologna might be, as they face the free kick. Very nearly a penalty. Typically strong surge here from Amoroso. Very hard to contain once he's in full flow. As Turci and Bachini, they will testify. And that looks to be the end of his afternoon. Very painful for Amoroso. Now, will it be Poggi with his left foot or Bachini the right? Bertotto in attendance as well. It's Bachini, it's off the crossbar, and Bierhoff to head in number 4. And that surely now is the end of Bologna. Second goal for Oliver Bierhoff. And sitting comfortable now for the home team, Udinese. 8 minutes left. Bachini with the free kick. It came down off the bar, and he was the first man to react. Bierhoff, like all good strikers should. Off-sided kick from Bachini. No chance there for Sterkeli. And Bierhoff wasn't going to miss from there. No defender has responded. So surely another win then now for Udinese to continue their excellent season. Locatelli has come on for Amoroso. Former Milan player Locatelli. He's the current under-21 international who arrived in Udine back in January. Oliver with the corner. Only partially dealt with. Now Bachini can break. Oh, but he's covered some ground today, Bachini. Poggi. Option through the middle, and they're onside too. Locatelli, wanted too long. Bertotto was caught in possession, at least he would have been had he had possession of the ball. There's that 4th goal again. From the Red Cross point of view. Mistake, rare one from Calori. They were swarming over their man there, Pierini. It's all turned sour for Bologna. Into the last 5 minutes. Pierini, who hit a post earlier on. That would have made it 3-3 had that gone in. Oliver will look for a crack at goal here to revive his team's prospects at the end of a game which has slipped from their grasp. Oliver, maybe not. 4-3. And we're all set now for a grandstand finale. Igor Kolivanov. Well, I did warn you beforehand, with these two teams, you can certainly expect goals. 7 now. Still time for more. Turci, who got a hand to it, but no more than that. He could only help it in. It's Kolivanov's first in Serie A this season. He's hit it with some venom. And it's spilled in off the keeper. Meantime, there's going to be a free kick to Udinese and a yellow card for Bachini. too soon. There's the injured party, Locatelli. There's been some charitable defending from both teams today. Are we yet in for some more? Bachini. He partially clear to Statuto. Offside. It's Locatelli. Bertotto to steer it back. Just last moments there for the home team. Locatelli, offside. It's Poggi. Just went a bit too soon. Turci. Fresh hope for Bologna. Bachini to Statuto. Bachini in ahead of Bierhoff. That's Helveg. Looking to slice open again this Bologna defence. Good battling by Statuto. Here's Locatelli. Poggi to his left. He's in space and unmarked. Now he has possession. Paolo Poggi. Marocchi. Now by Pierini. On Pavone. Only a fullback, but has been pushed up front since coming on. At least in the latter stages, as they now search for an equaliser. Almost in the last minute of the 90. Turci. Plenty of bodies forward. Helveg. It was Tarantino. You can see the lash out then at the Dane Helveg, and he certainly caught him. Painfully so. And he's really in some anguish here, and nobody seems too keen to help him. Caught him in the side, I would have thought there. It was Tarantino. Whistled by the home fans. Whoops. Sterkele just about surviving. Tarantino. Now Marocchi. Almost into stoppage time. Giannichedda again doing a fine job in the midfield. It's a gritty little performer. Marocchi's long pass. Nervo chasing and fouling. Lost his head then, Nervo. Swapping opinions with Pierini. The Barry Manilow lookalike. 5 minutes of stoppage time to be played. Helveg is back on. Zaccheroni looking a worried man. His team have not secured the 3 points yet. The tiredness creeping in there, to put it mildly, from Paganini. Bierhoff, who's on a hat-trick now. Paganini throw. Good time. Bertotto, a picture of concentration back there for Udinese. Can they hold on here? Pierini. That's good play. Excellent defending by Pierini. Giannichedda. Locatelli on his way. Had Bierhoff to his right, he still has, and there's Poggi up as well. Wrong selection. Oliver Bierhoff. Now Statuto. Locatelli. No way through for him. Marocchi. This is Kolivanov. Nervo's the man up front for Bologna. That's Bertotto. Hoisted away. Bachini holding his nerve against Locatelli. Turci. Now Marocchi. He might have had a strike at goal then, but seemed to be looking for a pass. It wasn't really on. Here's Statuto. Olivieri hoping his team can force yet another equaliser. Turci. Long ball aimed upfield. Away by Calori. Turci. He's got to go forward now. On by Turci. Pavone. Agonizingly over the top. Oh, what must be going through his mind now? Olivieri, the coach of Bologna. So near then. Pavone, remember he was the man whose shot came back off a post earlier. Now he's almost hit the bar. Just over. What an escape then for Udinese, who seem to have sewn this one up at 4-2, but clearly not. Marocchi. Bologna pressing forward again in the last minute of stoppage time. Down goes Kolivanov. They're all complaining, but the referee has not given a penalty. And they can protest all they like, he's not going to change his mind. The big question is, can he restore order here? Yellow card for Marocchi, the captain, who was leading the arguments, leading the protests. Now the coaches having their say. Certainly a scare for Udinese. This is Kolivanov. He's ploughed his way into the box. Now, Calori, he had made contact. He just ran into the defender, surely. Pavone appealing. Everyone appealing. Now there's a free kick to Udinese and respite for them. It's all over. Udinese have just about held on at 4-3. So the two teams have delivered goals in the end. Bitter disappointment for Bologna and their coach Olivieri, who is going through every kind of emotion down there on the sidelines. Udinese seemed to be coasting at 4-2, but then a late goal from Kolivanov made it a really tight finish before Udinese managed to step up their challenge near the top of Serie A. They've won again. They have beaten Bologna, the team struggling near the foot of the table, by 4-3.